It's Dan and Dago, and you might as well call me Dan, the bringer of good news, the messenger. Because let me tell you, here's another good piece of good news. Besides the fact that Gilberto curse has now been removed from our favorite team, our favorite program. If you're a Chargers fan, there is also, do you smell that? The smell of turf, the smell of the turf pellets on the ground, the overpriced smell of beer in the air, the overpriced and not good stadium food in the air. Do you know what that signifies? That we are one step closer to the NFL season. And that step has been taken today because all the NFL teams have reported to training camp. Let's freaking go. I'm so excited. Football, please come already. I can't stand to watch another baseball game. But Gilberto will give us all the latest storylines from Rams training camp, and Frau has got you covered for the Chargers. Do not worry. And the only training camp battle that your boy's looking for is that right tackle spot, because the son of Odin, God of lightning, Justin Herbert, has to be protected. I need it. I can't have a repeat of the Sunday night game against the Raiders where he had someone in his face all game long. The Compas will also get into some other storylines around the league, like, we hear that drama stirring up with Kyler Murray's contract extension and what that means for the Chargers and the son of Odin, God of lightning. What will that extension look? Who he's obviously worth every single penny more than some of these clans. Two Chargers make Chris Canty's list of the over. Oh my God, I am so fired up for this one. You just wait. Overrated players in the NFL. List goes as follows: Dak, McCaffrey, Saquon, and this is the killer for me, but you'll find out later. Khalil Mack and Derwin James. Oh, good God Almighty! But before we get to this electrifying episode of Compas on the Beat, I gotta promote our new social media channels. The Compas are now on the Twitter. Follow us at Compas OTB, and the OTB is capital, so you make sure you find us. But it doesn't end there. Just like that ShamWow jabron, there's more. We also made a TikTok, whatever you call it, where you can find us at Compas on the Beat. And of course, make sure to follow us at the Instagram page at Compas on the Beat and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us, help your boys reach the YouTube goal of 1,000 subscribers before the NFL season. You know how it is. Be a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate every single listener. We love you guys. It's been great. And who knows? Maybe we got a little gift for the 1,000th subscriber. That's a pretty important milestone we would reach. Okay, now it's time for the best damn podcast in the universe. All the way from South Bend, Indiana. Play the music, Nando! Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez. I cover Notre Dame football for the South Bend Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, OC Register, LA Daily News. He covers the Rams. What's up, bro?
Yeah, it's I'm still getting used to that part. Fernando covers the Rams. It's an adjustment.
In my intro, it's hard. Like I'm like, remember, it's the Rams.
But as you can tell, Fernando, I'm a little darker, and for me, I'm already dark, so you could tell it's that time of year. It's a training camp, new job, new experience. I almost got off in Costa Mesa a couple of days ago, but I went to Irvine. But yeah, we're finally in it. Summer's here, Fernando.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, this is the time where some of us get sunburned, some of us turn red. It gets a little extreme out there. Sometimes it gets really hot. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, no, yeah. So. Yeah. Sometimes it gets really hot or whatever. See, look, I even have a little bit of a farmer's tan right there. Look at that.
Wow. If you're listening on the audio, maybe check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe, by the way, because you get to see these nasty tans that we have.
Yeah, give us 5 stars. Boom, look at that. So definitely very interesting. But Gilbert, what have you? I mean, it's only been a couple of days or whatever, but what have you kind of learned being on the Rams beat? How different is it from the Chargers beat?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say. Like, it feels like it's the first day of school. You're trying to learn names, learn people. It's like you're meeting your teacher, or like, in this case, you're meeting the PR staff, and just trying to, people are coming up to you, introducing themselves, and everybody's friendly, nice. And I got to remember the names and all that. But for the most part, it feels like an NFL operation. Like I've done this already with 2 teams, with the Raiders and the Chargers for most of the years, 4 years, and it feels like a training camp. You know what they do for the steps. Like it's a ramp up period. There ain't no pads out there. Nobody's hitting each other, and it kind of feels like why are we out here? We need the pads to come out, but you're so close for real football. But I know the whole kind of the schedule and all that. Where it gets kind of tricky for me and it feels different is learning the roster, learning past storylines, learning history, the backgrounds of these players. And when they're done with practice, which I know how to watch practice, I know how to do all that. That's fine, you switch, Justin Herbert and you bring in Matthew Stafford. You just kind of do that. But when you're done and you talk to him at the podium, you try to kind of avoid not looking dumb. Like, okay, what do I don't know? Do I know this or I'm not sure myself? So I'm always asking like maybe 1 or 2 questions that are pretty safe. Like, hey, Cooper Kupp, what do you think about Allen Robinson? I'm sure he's been asked 10 times this whole offseason, but it's training camp and there's something different. So it's kind of not being like knowing when to. It's like when you're playing jump rope or when you have like what is it, the 2 people or it's like a third person gonna jump
Double
in.
Dutch.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. As you could tell, I didn't have a childhood, Fernando. But yeah, I had to figure out when to come in, when to come out. But for the most part, I've already spoken to like Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, like I mentioned, Cooper Kupp, Bobby Wagner, so a bunch of star players, Sean McVay. So far, people are seeing my face and I'm asking a question here and there. So that's kind of the toughest part. Is like I'm doing my job like with one of my hands tied behind my back because I don't know the entire roster. Like with the Charge, I was ready to go. I was like, let's go. But other than that, I'll get the hang of it. But now that I know the feel of NFL, the camp and the football, it should be a speedy process.
Obviously it's a different beat just because of the different personalities and everything. But is there no fans right now for them?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. The defending Super Bowl champions don't have fans right now. It's kind of like low key, and it's kind of cool. But then you're kind of like, oh, you missed kind of the reaction and the cheers because there's like times where like that was a very nice play from Cooper Kupp and nobody's reacting. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
How long is that gonna last?
They come back on Friday, so the first 4 days, I think they go every 4 days. So they went from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then day off, and then the fans come back, and I'm sure it'll be pretty packed this weekend in Irvine, especially for the Saturday and Sunday events. I'm sure Friday will be a good crowd, but yeah, I guess they do kind of do things differently. I'm sure I think the Chargers already have fans, right? The first day,
Yeah, they'll have fans
Wednesday. So every team does things differently, and the funny thing is like, I got used to the Chargers being in Costa Mesa for like the full month or whatever, 5 weeks before the NFL season. But I think they were allowed to do that because they train in Costa Mesa anyway, so they just stay out there in front of the high school, Costa Mesa. But the Raiders, I mean not the Raiders. I'm losing my track of the teams, Fernando. What the Rams do, they stay in Irvine for 2.5 weeks and then they go up to TL. So kind of a different format with the teams around the NFL.
Well, it's kind of like the Cowboys and like they come all the way out to Oxnard. Good friend of the show, MJ Acosta from NFL Network. She was out, I think it was yesterday or on Monday. She was out with Real Madrid players and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. So they were trying out each other's sport and everything. And that's, I find that funny because I like that stuff. I think that stuff is fun when players interact from other.
Fernando, this is your sneaky way of trying to get soccer involved.
No. I was just saying, I said NFL Network and all that. So it's interesting when all these different, because that's what they used to be, Gilbert. Most of the teams used to go out.
You're still doing it, man. No, come on. Keep it a football.
Didn't you just hear what I said?
Summer's back.
No, didn't you hear what I just said?
What did you say?
I said NFL teams used to go out and they used to go away from everything. I feel like
talk to soccer players.
No, I'm saying NFL training camps used to be like 2 hours away from where everybody was because the teams wanted to get away. They wanted to build camaraderie. And the funny part is Shannon Sharp was talking about this on Undisputed. He's like, guys used to come in because of the whole Leonard Fournette coming in out of shape. He's like, guys, because we had 3-a-days, guys used to come in and then gain the weight or lose the weight during training camp because you had 8 weeks of 2-a-days. Now, obviously, you have to come into shape, but whatever. I mean, I'm just
by the way, that was pretty funny with Leonard Fournette and with the Photoshop with the picture of him being overweight.
That was people. Hey, people were getting into it, but any 1 or 2 interesting storylines that you're following right now with the Rams?
Yeah, you know what? With the whole, the Ramsey situation being injured, and when he had the shoulder surgery in late June, people were like, "Why is he having surgery so late in the offseason?" Like they're saying he's gonna be ready for the start of the week 1 opener, which is September 8th against the Buffalo Bills. That should be a pretty entertaining game. But I'm thinking like, no way he's gonna be back in time for that. And then there was like a whole mess with the whole pup list, and like, okay, he's going on the pup, and then he's not going on the pup, and then he's like, the first day of practice, he's out there on the walkthrough. I'm like, why is Jalen Ramsey out on the walkthrough? So that's kind of been a fascinating storyline that I think he's going to be ready. But then you're also wondering, how is his secondary going to look like if he's not there? So, they brought back Troy Hill. They have some rookies that they drafted too. So that whole kind of the secondary part, the cornerbacks, I've been kind of fascinated to see who lines up where, how are these rookies going to do? Because the Rams don't have any like high draft picks. They kind of just hope that these guys in the 7th and 6th round pan out. And there's a lot of pressure on the guys. I'm like, these guys are 6, 7 round picks, and there's a bunch of pressure on these guys to play right away. But as you can tell, teams do things differently. That's kind of been interesting for me so far.
So obviously the Chargers have just they had everybody come in. Everybody was wondering, will Derwin James hold out? Lindsey Theory from ESPN put that Derwin showed up, that he's there. Obviously still waiting for a contract. I think that's the biggest storyline, Gilbert, heading into the Chargers training camp, just because obviously Derwin and his agent David Mulugheta, they're at the point now where he's in his 5th year. He's dealt with some injuries, but when Derwin's healthy, he is a force on that defense. And there's a reason why the Chargers went out and did what they did this offseason. They went to go get Derwin James help the way that they got Justin Herbert help last year, because they know how valuable Derwin James is. So obviously I think the Chargers are going to end up paying him. It could happen before tomorrow, before they walk out onto the field.
Aren't you a little surprised that hasn't happened yet? Like he already clocked in. He's ready.
I am a little bit surprised that it hasn't happened, but I mean, maybe it'll happen before the season starts. But I am a little interested that it hasn't happened yet, just because Tom Telesco usually likes to get that stuff taken care of before training camp. But who knows, maybe it happens during training camp, they get it settled and they get it figured out. But I mean, hey, Minkah Fitzpatrick's contract's right there. You basically see what you have to do. You have a little bit of a stepping stone off of that, and obviously that's one of the other storyline, which to me isn't a big storyline. Kenneth Murray PUP list. He's dealing with that ankle. I think he had surgery on his ankle, and he's not going to be ready to go for the beginning of training camp. It's going to be interesting to see what position he's going to play, or how he's going to be used this season, just because I feel like Drew Tranquill's a little bit more, well, not a little bit more, I think he's well more advanced than Kenneth Murray is at this point. Troy Reeder, who they brought in as a free agent, he's been in Brandon Staley's defense before. He understands it. So I think right there, Kenneth might be on Kenneth. If Kenneth doesn't come in and right away kind of set the tone, he may be on the back burner for the Chargers. And then you have Amon, and you have Nick Neiman, and you have these other guys that are going to compete. And if you're Kenneth, you're basically on the sideline for right now.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Kenneth Murray. He was a former 1st-round pick, and hopefully he does well, but it's not looking good already starting the pup, and falling behind. But it's not like he's competing against Bobby Wagner. It's a Troy Reeder and Drew Tranquill, so maybe he does well and he pans out. But I've been keeping tabs on that Derwin James contract, Fernando. I'm very surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so am I.
But it kind of tells you either they're on good terms, that he's there reporting. But if in a way if you're Derwin James, why not bet on yourself and take it like Mike Williams did, take it into the end of the contract and see what happens with the franchise tag. But
he could be the first $100 million.
A safety. Like, he's not a safety. He is a very talented all around defensive player. So hey, maybe test the waters, but that's kind of been my biggest takeaway from this.
If I can implore you guys,
yeah,
okay. If I can implore you guys to go watch something, go watch Brian Baldinger's video on Derwin. he has a video where he shows Derwin playing different positions and how he was able to control different outcomes of the game last year against the Chiefs in that game in Kansas City. On the play where Patrick Mahomes throws the interception at Lohi Gilman at the end of the game, Tyreek Hill is not getting covered by Tavon Campbell or Michael Davis or Asante Samuel Jr. Derwin James is covering him in the slot, and Derwin makes Patrick Mahomes is looking towards Tyreek Hill. He looks away when he sees that it's Derwin, the one covering him, and he goes another way. So definitely go look at that video and see exactly what Derwin is. To me, Derwin James is a positionless player that he's a generational talent, and I really do feel like the Chargers have something special on both sides of the football, and that's why the Chargers are building. That's why Brandon Staley's building behind Justin Herbert and building behind Derwin James. But speaking of contract extensions, Gilbert, Kyler Murray got a new contract extension this week with the Arizona Cardinals. It's let me get that for you. It was basically it's in a sense, because he's on his 5th year, it's a 5-year, $230 million contract. That's basically what, according to Spotrac, that's basically, and here's a breakdown of his contract.
Oh, Spot Rack.
Spot Rack? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, whatever. I don't know. So here's basically an update of what his contract is going to look like.
I can barely see it.
No, let me zoom in. Sorry.
Just give me the numbers for now. It's 230.
So basically, he's going to be making 39, 38, 32, 42, 36, basically, for the next few years. He signed until 2027. Then they have an out in his final year. But basically, Gilbert, what does this contract mean for somebody like? Oh, and by the way, his guarantee or his whole figure was, I think it was a 5-year contract, 231 point, like it was $100,000 more than Deshaun Watson's contract with Cleveland. So that was pretty funny that they did that. But how much more do you think Justin Herbert's contract is going to be in a year if the Chargers do decide to pay him after his 3rd year?
Yeah, before I get into that, let me kind of, do a analysis on the Kyler Murray contract. And whenever quarterbacks who are talented but haven't really proven enough, are due to get paid, like obviously he's above the level of like guys like Baker Mayfield, former first overall pick, but he's not like for sure top 10 quarterback. He's close, and the money he's making it right now on the order is like top 5 quarterback. He's not that, but he's a young, talented quarterback, and Fernando, it's very hard in the NFL to find a quarterback. Once you have one, you keep them. Yeah, I know sometimes you kind of get stuck, like maybe like the Vikings. It's a bad comparison. The Vikings and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is nowhere near Kyler Murray, but when you have a quarterback, you pay him and you kind of keep him. Then you kind of figure out after 5-6 years, we're not winning. You kind of move around. But I think that's why they paid him. And then when you know the difference of the quality of the quarterback, and you'll get into the other part. But the first part is a guaranteed money. It did not even rival Deshaun Watson's contract.
No,
Deshaun Watson got fully guaranteed $230 million. I think, you mentioned the whole Kyler Murray being a little shade above the total value, but his total guaranteed is $160 million. Yeah. So you could tell where he is in the pecking order. And what some quarterbacks really care about is the average annual salary. And the person at the top is Aaron Rodgers, $50 million a year. And it's funny how this Mahomes contract, overall, he's a top dog. He's like $500 million, but it's such a kind of weird team-friendly contract that is spread out over 10 years, so he doesn't have the big average annual salary.
But I think that's so that they also can come back in a couple of years and maybe redo it. Let's re-sign. Yeah.
And that's what takes me into the Justin Herbert thing. I kind of feel like it might go that way, where like this guy already, you don't need to prove more. You're going to be freaking good for the next 10 years. You are the Patrick Mahomes level, without the playoff things. But we all have eyes here. We could watch Justin Herbert. He's going to be a baller for the next 10, 15 years, whatever. So I could see something like a long-term contract. And knowing Justin Herbert, he hates probably talking about money. He hates talking about himself. Like, just sign me up for 10 years and let's just call it a day. I could see that happening for sure. But where it gets what was that?
Do you think he would do a Tom Brady or no? I think out of all the quarterbacks that we see right now in the NFL, he would be the closest thing to a Tom Brady that we might get when it comes to, maybe. You know what? I may take a little bit of a pay cut.
Yeah, but we have the blueprint, right? The Patrick Mahomes, where you get paid a ton for the long haul, and like the thing about these contracts, like you never see the final year because players get old or they decline. But quarterbacks don't have that problem; they play for a long time. You could live out that contract. I could definitely see that for Justin Herbert. Like maybe gets more than Patrick Mahomes. Like what he's getting, like $600 million. It sounds crazy to me to say. It'll be kind of tricky to see how much is the average annual salary. Would it be Aaron Rodgers? Would he top Aaron Rodgers? I think he should, because just going up and up and up, and he's much younger than Aaron Rodgers. So for the Justin Herbert thing, I definitely see him, surpassing $50 million, and that would be kind of a tough contract to top. And also Joe Burrow's coming up too, so it's gonna be very interesting, Fernando.
Ultimately, I'd like to see the quarterback salary be taken away from the actual cap. I would actually like that. I think quarterback and coach and everything should be its own, and
Not a bad
then
idea.
all the other players, just so other players can end up getting paid and doing that. I think it'd help a little bit more. But speaking of, Kyler Murray's extension, Gilbert, I was a guy that I didn't like doing homework because I got A's on the test. So what the hell was the point of me what was the point of me having to do the homework if I was getting A's on tests? So Kyler Murray and I guess, are pretty similar, except for our dollar figures in the bank. I like Kyler Murray has an incentive in his contract that says he has to study at least 4 hours a week, not a day, a week. And the iPad that he has, if some players out there don't know, if people don't know, that iPad tells you if you just left it somewhere just playing and you didn't mess with it or you didn't do anything, the iPad knows, the iPad relays it back to the organization. So basically, it has to be 4 hours of you interacting with it and doing all kinds of stuff. So Kyler Murray has to do that for his contract. Now, I did some digging and I found this article. And so basically Kyler Murray told the New York Times a couple of years ago that he told last year that he's blessed with the cognitive skills to go out there and just see it before it happens. So that's why he doesn't spend all that much time on film. So just Gilbert, give me your, and by the way, today on the Pat McAfee show, yeah, there it is. There's my bingo. He said Peyton Manning right now.
And Tucker mentioned, by the way.
I know, but he said right now Peyton Manning is throwing up having to see somebody have to put that in his contract. What says you?
That's a perfect example from Pat McAfee. Yeah, Peyton Manning was a mastermind. He just lived in the film room, and knowing how tough and how technical you need to be as a quarterback, like not knowing because I know how to play, just watching players, or quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But you got to spend a lot of time in the film room, and that's why guys like Justin Herbert were ready out the gate because he was spending time in the film room. Like this is a very critical part, and the guys that don't really are kind of talented but are not consistent. There's always like a pattern or a theme. They're not spending enough time in the film room. They're not learning. They don't know how to decipher defenses. So it's not a good look that was on the contract. And I think Kyler Murray is one of these gamers too. Like I get it. This is kind of like my old person side. Like get off my lawn. Like enough with the video games. You don't need to play video games all day. Just
not during the season.
Yeah, who cares? I don't find video games entertaining. They're boring.
But some of these guys do.
But I don't get it. So this is kind of like the new age Jamarcus Russell, where like with the blank tapes, like it's kind of the same thing. It's just you got to be active on the pad. So it's not a good look, and that's my other part of why he is an unproven quarterback who's talented. Like he could get away with talent and skill alone. That guy's a freak athlete. You can't get him. You can't bring him down. And he has a strong arm, but he could take it to the next level, like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, because he doesn't. He needs to put in more work in the film room, but. Yeah, when you're in your prime, it's okay to kind of just be an athlete and play out there. But the guys who last a long time are Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, these guys, Peyton Manning, because they put in the work. So it's not a good look. And that's why that guaranteed money is nowhere near the Deshaun Watson thing, which by the way, the Watson thing, I don't know why you got that, but that's a story for another day.
Well, Gilbert, this next quick topic, it kind of frustrated your boy. And I have to bring him in right now because I know that this pissed him off a little bit. And so let's go to Dan and Dago, and let's bring him in real quick. I know Gilbert's excited for that.
Look who it is.
Let your music play. Come on.
Gilberto! I am the ray of sunshine that you need, sir, to brighten it. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Why are you here so early? We didn't sign you up for now. What do you want?
So what are you talking about? Why am I here so early? Why am I here so early? Because I have to deal with the blasphemy that you and your blue check mark brigade and the media people and trying to push this manure onto me and my program. And our program. Shout out to all the Charger fans out there. And guess what, Charger fans? Don't you worry. It is back. Because this shield bounces all that, all those stupid comments and ideas.
Dan, what's the point?
You're doing so well. Okay, so basically, former New York Giants defensive tackle Chris Canty came out with his list of the most overrated players, and I think he went. I have it right here. Here it is. He went number 1, Dak Prescott. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Saquon Barkley. Number 4 was Khalil Mack. And number 5, obviously we haven't seen him in a Charger uniform, whatever. I mean, obviously. Number 5, Derwin James Gilbert as overrated. My question is it just the boring times in summer, or do you really feel like Chris Canty believes this? I'm going to go with Gilbert first.
Yeah, and I know Danny Boy has a lot to say about this, but yes, it's a big part of it. That's why all these anonymous scouts and all these rankings are coming out this time of year, because people need content and they're starving for it and they can't wait for training camp. So they stir the pot, they need the clickbait, and they probably asked Chris Canty 5 minutes before the show, who do you want on the overrated list? Or we have some names, just toss them out there. I could see that happening, but real quick, now, no way Derwin James is overrated. He plays 5 positions on the field. That alone tells you that how he's talented. Khalil Mack, yes, he's been hurt, and maybe the numbers don't compare to that first year in Chicago and the years with the Raiders. But this guy could, defend the run, does so much.
And he has help now.
And the reason why Brandon Staley pretty much said, like, I think I asked him when after he got traded, or I even asked Khalil Mack, like, do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder that people are doubting you? And Brandon Staley was like, if you haven't been watching the film, because this guy could do everything, not just rush the passer. Oh, the strip sacks too are nice. The takeaways, all that's nice. So definitely, I don't see those 2 guys on the list.
Dan, I'm going to give you my time, and you can take your time to do this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me tell you something what really just pisses me off. This is literally like, tell me you don't watch our games, but don't tell me you don't watch our games. Like, let me tell you real quick. I've said it before on this year, your favorite program. I said I was one Derwin James injury away from sweeping everyone's beloved Chiefs, Tony Romo and his pom-poms for him, the whole ESPN channel and their pom-poms for him, Gilberto Ramzano and his pom-poms for him. Let me tell you a few stat sheets over here. On Thursday Night Football, the game that my sister went to and they lost, so I don't know if I'll take her back. I'm not superstitious.
It's somebody else's fault, huh?
But anyway, when Derwin James was on the field, Travis Kelce, who I'm sure this stooge would put as his number 1 tight end in the whole league, had 1 catch for 14 yards. Imagine that. 1 catch for 14 yards. All he got was a first down and then a 2nd and like 6 or whatever. Matt's not my strong suit. After Derwin comes off the field, not only do I get screwed, I get just obliterated. 9 catches, 177 yards, and 2 TDs. And the second TD was when that stooge ran
always stats. You got to give your point without giving stats. You're putting him in his sleep, Dan. You got to work on that. No more stats.
Look at that. He hates the truth. That's why I always get cut off, and that's cool. That's cool, baby.
Somebody's not good with numbers, always bringing up stats for his points. But we get it. The guy's wrong. Well,
it's not my fault. Every time I come on here, you think to yourself, oh, how can I take all his points before he comes on here? So he has to ramble like a jackass. And it's like, oh, then I have to come on here and I'm over here adjusting, trying to adjust what I'm at my talk.
Get him out. Yeah, thank you. He made a good point, though. We do make him go last, Okay.
Well, I know, and I mean, honestly, he does have a point. I mean, I know he gets frustrated with, but I mean, Derwin's a superstar, and I mean, there's no ends, F's, or buts about it. But Gilbert, because I allotted my time to Dan and Dago, is it cool if I take a little bit of time coming up on this next segment? I got 3 hot Compas takes.
Come on,
you let me know. You let me know what you think.
I'll say approve or delusional.
Okay, I'm gonna do one Chargers, one Rams, and then I'll give you a hot take, a separate hot take.
Let's do it.
All right. First off, my hot take for the Chargers is they'll be in the AFC if healthy, they will be in the AFC Championship this season. If healthy. If they go the whole season healthy and they do what I think they're gonna do,
I'll say bro is right.
They're in the AFC Championship.
Wow. Okay.
I don't get the floor is yours.
I need like a middle tier. I'm not gonna call you delusional, but how about like I don't see it just yet. That's my thing there.
New players, you have to see everything going on, but this is honestly, I mean, in the few years that I've seen them, this is the first time that I've really seen them go completely all in, and I'm very surprised by it. And I feel like if they're able to stay healthy, I think they're gonna make some noise. And then you look at the other teams around them in the AFC. And you're kind of like, wow, this could be with Tyreek Hill leaving Kansas City. This could be the perfect chance for either the Chargers or the Bills or one of these teams to really stick it to them and make it to the Super Bowl.
What else, you guys? Better be good because you're on a roll right now.
For the LA Rams, I'll say they don't make it past the wild card next season. I think losing Von Miller hurts a lot more than what people think. Von Miller and having the best pass rusher in the NFL and having the best defensive tackle in the NFL really helps you. And I don't think that the Rams I think the Rams are at the point where the water's starting to kind of make its way up, and all the moves that they've done and all the moves that they've made, those have been good to a certain extent. I just don't think they can make those moves this season. I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think they have the money to be able to make one of those kind of moves. I don't see them making a move like that. And I feel like this season they don't make it past the wild card, and the house of cards kind of, I'm not going to say it falls completely apart because they're still a very, very talented team, but I think we see a little bit of a hangover, a little bit too much tequila and champagne.
I'll say borderline delusional because I give the difference between the Chargers and the Rams. I give them the benefit of the doubt because we've seen them get to the mountaintop. We know they develop young players, but you're right. It's going to be an issue to replace Von Miller. That guy was a monster. But a lot of these young players before Von got there were pretty productive, which I'm learning now. And then I'm seeing them in person, like, oh, okay, these guys like they could play. Obviously, they're in shorts and don't have pads, but I will give them benefit of the doubt. But wild card, I can see them going further. They're a pretty stacked team.
Last hot take, Tom Brady will be in the Super Bowl this season.
That's not a hot take.
Why?
He's always in the Super Bowl. What do you mean why?
He wasn't there last year.
This was so anticlimactic. Like your first two were like, oh, okay, these are good. And then like you got really just safe. Boring.
Why?
This is boring.
All right, do you want me to go with another one?
Yes, come on. He's always in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised. It could be 55 years old.
All right, here we go. Russell Wilson will not make the playoffs.
Okay. All right, Broncos new team, a lot of hype. Fine.
I think the Raiders and the Broncos offensive line is a lot worse than what people are thinking, and I think they're hyping those two teams up a lot. And I just think that I think their offensive lines are a little bit. If I had to pick one, I think the Raiders would make it just because they don't have a new quarterback. But the Broncos are a team I still don't trust, and I think the Broncos are. I don't think Russell Wilson makes it.
You pissed off Victor, the producer, and then you really made him happy like in 10 seconds. Kudos to you.
I appreciate that. But yeah, what do you think about that one?
It's not bold, but it's decent. There's a lot of hype on the Broncos, and I think because it's not bold, because you and I see the same way with the Broncos offensive line. I don't see it there.
Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater were getting the crap beat out of them last year. They didn't make any moves on it.
I mean, they get their receiving core got a lot of hype. I don't see it, and it's a brand new coaching staff. They lose their. I know Big Fangio got killed as the opposite. It's our head coach, but he
just said let's ride, and everybody gets all excited about it. So I'm like, they were training out here in San Diego. They were training out in San Diego. They went to go see Dan and Dago. I think that's what they went to go do. They went to go party with Dan and Dago. But speaking of Dan and Dago, let's go to him now and let's see what he's got cooking up for us.
Can you believe this stooge putting my boys on the overrated list? Some of these guys in the blue checkmark brigade, my goodness, dude, you could tell they are clout chasing on our boys, just trying to get some clicks and some eyeballs. Well, get that garbage out of here. I don't want to hear it. All right, now let's promote promoting is what I do best. Your boy. If you're looking to advertise with the Compas, just send us a little email, whatever the noise is for that thing, at compasonthebeat@gmail.com. We're looking for sponsors before the NFL season. Let us know if you want to partner with the best damn podcast in the universe. Do not hesitate to reach out and send us an email at compasonthebeat@gmail.com. You won't regret it. Plain and simple. You will not regret it. Just get into that email right there at compasonthebeat@gmail.com. You will not regret it. You got your boy. Because everyone else is the twos, and I'm the one. Now, let's get back to Compas on the Beat because I have a few questions for these lads. Hashtag Ask the Compas, where I'll ask them about movies, TV, and other entertainment compets. Let's go!
Gilbert, I feel like people are really enjoying hashtag Ask the Compas. I don't know if it's because we bring in your boy Dan and Diego or what it is, but I think people really enjoy this segment. So let's do it.
They do it
We
like
know why.
the guy does a good job of moderating and doesn't ramble and doesn't take too much of the time. So come on, let's see what you got for the next wave of Ask the Compas.
We know why. Because in this segment, even though I am the moderator and quote unquote referee, that does not, I am like the type of special guest referee in WWE that gets to really just nail the guy that he can't stand. That I just get to go in like, I'm like Triple H, dude. I'll hit Gilberto with the pedigree at any given moment. All right, let's get into this, laddies. It is the 40th anniversary of theater release of some really classic movies. Have the Compas seen any of the top films from the summer of 1982? Fast Times at the Ridgemont High. Has anyone seen that? I for sure as hell have not.
Really? Wow. I'm the only one that have seen it. I've seen it. It's Sean Penn, right? Give me a thumbs up, Victor. Yeah. That's correct. Okay. I got that one right.
You're like 34, right? 35?
And yeah, I'm 33. Oh, call me old now. I'm 33. I was born in 89. And Matthew McConaughey was in it, right? All right. Or is it something else? Okay.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
No, that's another movie.
Damn, never mind. Okay, close. I was doing well too.
Is that the one where he has the famous quote that like
he's like in the car with the little mustache? I don't know what movie.
Yeah, I think that is the one where he has that weirdo quote.
Matthew McConaughey. Victor, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Am I right or wrong? Oh,
Blade Runner. You ever watched?
Okay, never mind.
Did you watch Blade Runner?
No.
The one with Harrison Ford, right?
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Yeah.
Yes, I'm 2 for 2, bro.
No.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, dating yourself. What about Annie?
I have watched Annie.
I never watched it.
Daddy Warbucks. Yep, I know that one.
What's the movie?
Annie.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I know the song. I'm at least cultured. I know the song.
You're only a day.
Yeah, I went to school in America, so I was forced to watch this.
Did you watch it or you didn't?
I was. It was a terrible movie, and I was forced to watch it in the public school system of the United States of America.
Oh, public school. Well, they got to play something family friendly.
I remember he hates Remember the Titans.
Yeah, he's terrible. I still can't believe that one.
Okay,
that is
don't
such
get me
a
off
glorious
topic. I don't.
football
All right,
movie.
go next one.
Okay?
You're terrible.
I'm 3 for 3, by the way. I'm winning this right now.
All right. What about E.T.?
Of course. Come on.
I never saw it. Didn't care for it. My life for what's the correct word? Dwarf, imp, or small person? Alien is Taken, and that's by Master Yoda. That's the only small alien I want to talk to.
Are you 0 for 4, Dan?
I'm 0 for 4. I'm
4 for 4. Wow.
Here we go. Conan the Barbarian.
I've watched that one.
Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never saw it. Didn't care for it. Never saw it. Didn't care for it.
I think that was one of his first. Well, Terminator is the one that made him the most famous, but Conan made him famous as well. So
I think that was like his first.
You're right.
I love Predator.
Bodybuilder. And
him in Predator or Commando was good.
Yeah. Okay. 80s action movies. I'm watching it. I already know.
Oh well, yeah. When they were like blowing the whole town half to hell and all that stuff, all the action.
I'm 5 for 5. Look at this. Who would have thought?
Here we go. Here's the first one I've seen. First Blood Rambo. Excellent film.
Oh yeah, I've watched that one.
6 for 6, buddy.
Oh my! Thank you for keep dating yourself, dude. That's great. Next. Rocky 3. Now we've all seen that one, right?
Yes.
Was that the Clubber Lane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's Mr. T.
Hey, woman.
Yeah. I love.
You want a real man? Come over here.
All right, come on. We're doing well.
I'm surprised he never made a run at WWE after that. Next, film. He was such a good heel. Don't pressure me. I have to read this, dude. My eyesight. I don't have my glasses on to read
this.
This
a tough one, man.
Poltergeist. You guys ever watch Poltergeist?
No.
Ooh,
I think I saw the remake. I never saw the original. I don't think.
No, damn, you finally got me. Damn it.
You don't like horror movies?
Is that what it is? A horror movie?
Yeah, Poltergeist. Yes, sir.
I'm not even sure if I've heard of it. I've heard the name, but I'm not even sure what's it about. But okay.
It's a. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the first 7 movies were not. Oh my god, but now I missed this one.
Okay. I at least know what it is. Like
I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay.
What about Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior?
There's
That's Mel
2.
Gibson, I think.
I saw the first one. Wait, there's 2?
I never watched it. I saw the remake, thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and ever since then I've hated
The
Mad
remake was
Max.
really good. Come on, man.
Huh?
The remake was really good.
No, the remake was stupid. Some of these films that they do remakes on, I'm like, did I take was I drugged in this theater? I don't even know what happened. Like, it was
one
such
of
an
the best movies I've seen in a long time. The guy who played Venom, I forgot his name. Something Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
There you go. He was really good in it. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
He's a good. Well, there's a difference between him having a good performance and the whole overall film being good.
Fine, go.
Terrible film. Terrible. I thought it was stupid. Anyway, what about Tron? Another acid trip. Never watched it. Never cared for it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Wait, was
Tron.
that the? I got confused. Not the Harrison Ford one again? I forgot.
The what?
Harrison Ford?
No, it's not.
I think he was in it.
Or was it the Arnold Schwarzenegger? I forgot. No, that's Blade Runner.
Okay, no, you're thinking of
Blade Runner.
No, but I think he was in Tron too, wasn't he?
All right, for this next segment, we're gonna be kicking out Dan and Dago, and we're gonna bring on Vic, our producer, to talk a little. Let's start. Vic, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for bringing me in.
Yeah, no, of course.
You're hiding in the shadows, Victor. You need to have better light. You're scaring me.
This freaking guy. Okay,
there you go. Much better.
A little better. He's a producer, so it's okay.
During Comic-Con in San Diego this past weekend, shout out. There was a lot of really good, a lot of really famous people showing up. It was a pretty cool. It seemed like a pretty cool weekend for Comic-Con. Marvel dropped the first trailer for Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the Black Panther, coming this November. In it, we see Namor, the first superhero in the MCU with remnants of Mayan descendants. Are you guys excited to go watch the movie when it comes out in theaters? Now that you know we're gonna see our first Mexican superhero, I'll go with Victor first.
I am. I'm really excited. I didn't know they were going to introduce him here. He's the first mutant in the comic books, and also just to have him in, like, everybody's been waiting because they didn't know if Marvel had the rights to it. So for me, it's going to be. I'm excited for it, especially after watching the trailer. Like I had with how Phase 4 has gone. I wasn't that excited for it. Like, I didn't know. And then with Chadwick Boseman passing away, I had no idea whether we were gonna, what to expect. And at this point, I was like, okay. And then they dropped the trailer, and I mean, I think it's over a bunch of views already. So I can't wait.
40 million the last time I saw.
Yeah. So, and then you're introducing a character with Mayan descent. For me, I'm in. What about you, Gil?
I haven't seen the trailer, I'm gonna be honest, of Wakanda Forever, right? So that's the second movie, right? I like the first one, and I usually bash Marvel, but I like the first one, so I say that. And our R.I.P. Chad Boseman, right? Did I get it right? Boseman, who was a big boxing fan. But the thing that kind of grabbed my attention was that part. Right? There's a Mexican actor. I think he's a villain. I don't know his name, but I know he's from Narcos. He was like the homie of Miguel or Angel, Miguel, whatever, the names. But I'm terrible with names. But I do like, the whole, getting some culture in there and getting a Mexican involved and being the villain. So I want to see how they portray him and how he comes out. And I like the first one. And I'm with you, Vic. After he passed away, the main actor, I wasn't sure how they're gonna go and take it, but it seemed like they have a good plan.
I hope they don't do what I think they're gonna do with the movie, just because I don't know. I kind of want something different, something where it makes us like I don't know, just something different. I don't want the typical stuff that they usually do with these movies. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this movie. I'll go watch it just because it's Marvel. I thought Chadwick Boseman had done a good job with the Black Panther series or with the first movie. It's sad that he wasn't able to finish the second one, but yeah, I mean, I'll go watch it just because I'm interested to see what he brings to this. But for this next segment, I'm gonna bring back Dan and Dago just so we can quickly go through a tweet that that was brought up by who was it? Here, I'm grabbing it. It's Bring It Home Bolts. He asked us, what are you most excited for out of the Marvel Comic-Con show? I'm stoked for Blade, Fantastic Four, and Loki Season 2. Vic, one thing that you're excited for coming up in this new in whatever you want from either Marvel, anything that happened this weekend at Comic-Con?
For me, it's gonna be Loki too, because that's gonna set up everything. Like Loki broke the multiverse, so that's how we got what's his name, Doctor Strange in the multiverse, and they announced that it's the multiverse saga. So I think for me, it's going to be Loki too, because I think that's going to set up Kang. It's going to set up other things and what we see in Phase 5, and then moving on to Phase 6 with the Fantastic Four. But like having Blade 2, I mean Deadpool 2, like there's a lot to be excited about. I'm just glad that they finally cleared up where they're going, because Phase 4, we were like, everybody was like, well, what are we going to do here with this? And people were like, I'm sure a lot of people who saw Thor Love and Thunder were disappointed, and they're like, where are we going with this? We keep getting end credits, and everybody's like, well, okay, what's going to happen now? And now we at least have what's going to happen. What about you, Gil?
Okay, I lost interest because I don't know what language you were speaking, Victor. I don't care for these phases or Phase 4 or whatever. But then I started
the biggest Marvel fan of us all.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I should give it a try and actually participate.
He's gonna say Fast and Furious 11.
I don't care for Loki. I don't care for Fantastic Four. I do like Jessica Alba and that one terrible movie. But I saw Blade, and is this Wesley Snipes movie? Blade? Is it different franchise?
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same character, but it's not going to be Wesley Snipes.
It's Ali Marshala.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, okay. Who's a really good actor.
Yeah.
So
you know what? That's a perfect fit for Blade if they're going off the Wesley Snipes.
And there he goes. He gets off easy.
What? See, I'm participating. I love the Blade movies. I saw all the Blade movies. Even the ones with Ryan Reynolds. That was terrible. The
you know that movie actually saved. No, which one was it? One of those movies saved the Marvel universe, because they made $135 million off of the movie, and they were about to declare bankruptcy. And thanks to that, one of these Blade movies, it rescued them, and they were able to continue going with their projects.
I had no idea. Look at that. You learned something right here on this show, this podcast here, Compas on the Beat.
That's right. All right, Dan, give us real quick something that you're looking forward to.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Was not a fan of Thor, hated Doctor Strange. I'm tired of it all. I'm not going to say I agree with Gilberto, but I'm saying like we're at least in the middle gray zone.
He's a huge Captain Marvel fan.
It's very dangerous between just trying to pump out films and content to keep trying to line their pockets and actually putting good films out there. I'm tired of this garbage. If they completely just butcher Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right, my turn. So we're gonna go with I'm gonna go with 2025 when we get either Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. I'm excited for both of those Avengers movies. I want to see what they're gonna do with either one of them. But I'm definitely excited for that. But Vic, thank you so much for joining us on this segment. Obviously, let's now head over.
Cut me off too.
Yep. No, well, I'm not going to do it.
Go back to producing.
But we're going to bring back Dan and Dago from where he's at, and let's now do a little bit of Combat Compas. We're talking a little bit about SummerSlam. SummerSlam is this weekend, guys, and I'm very excited for SummerSlam. It's a new era in WWE. Vince McMahon last Friday dropping the bombshell that he has left WWE. He's going to retire. I never thought I would see it off of a tweet from Vince McMahon. I thought it'd be a whole celebration, but obviously with the stuff that he's going through right now, it had to be a tweet. You could tell Stephanie McMahon was heartbroken when she came out and announced that her father had retired. Her and Nick Khan are now the duo CEOs of WWE. Triple H has now taken over creative, so he will be the guy underneath the gorilla with the headset on, talking to Pat McAfee, talking to Michael Cole, talking to the officials. So that's going to be interesting to see what direction Triple H takes this new era of WWE. And then remember, guys, we're moving to TV 14 now. It's back up to what it was in the Attitude Era.
Go.
Dude,
It's
I'm
gonna be
like Vince
interesting.
McMahon. Wow, he's
Yeah,
probably...
it's gonna be interesting to see that what way they're gonna take this. But I'm very interested. But first match, real quick, and guys, let's try and get through this quickly. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I think that's going to be a very interesting match. I hope Liv doesn't drop the belt this quickly, but I'm going to get your guys' predictions. Who do you think wins this? Dan and Diego, I'm going to go with you first. And remember, just who do you think is going to win this match?
Let me tell you all one thing. I chose violence today. That's why I have this Bob Barker Gilmore fight shirt on. I chose violence.
Oh, wow.
I am in full support with my brother and his previous comments before this here program today. I cannot stand Ronda Rousey. I wish you would just retire and get off the screen. Liv Morgan better not drop this title, or I will be extremely furious along with the rest of the WWE fans. I just don't like it's like you guys talked about last time when you guys talked about Money in the Bank. WWE is notorious, infamously famous for pumping up these stars till they're white hot. The fans want them, even if, Vince or whoever doesn't. And then as soon as they're at that boiling point, they're like, oh, no, let's throw some ice cubes. You're done, dude. Go take a back seat on the bench, buddy, or whatever. And I can't stand it. So now that someone finally broke through the crack, who's not Charlotte, who's not Sasha, who's not Becky, who's not Bailey's gotten a lot of opportunities too. Like, Liv Morgan needs to stay the champ, 100%. Stay the course.
All right, let's go with Gilbert. Gilbert, what do you think?
You guys have been, just tearing apart Ronda Rousey for the last year. So, you know what? I'm going to go help her and say, hey, you know what? Come on the program and, you guys could, hash it out here. But I'm going to have Ronda Rousey on the show after she wins the title on SummerSlam.
She wouldn't come on here. She'd have to cut a promo.
All
right, let's go to the next. Man, I am so excited for this match. It is Pat McAfee.
Let's go.
He's a compa.
Of course,
we had him on, huh?
Of course you're excited.
Well, yeah, because Pat McAfee gets to wrestle. We saw what he did at WrestleMania. I thought that was honestly, for somebody who grew up loving wrestling the way he did and everything, to have a moment at WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, like, that has to be the coolest thing ever. But he's fighting Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, fun fact, Gilbert, Baron Corbin and Pat McAfee were teammates on the Indianapolis Colts. They were roommates their first offseason together during training camp. So now it's all come to fruition. They're going up against each other. Pat McAfee, if you guys haven't seen, go watch the promos that he has cut the last few years. Pat McAfee is, like Dan said, white hot right now. Everybody loves Pat McAfee. They're really the WWE universe is really taken to him, and it's because of Pat McAfee, the WWE guy, not because of Pat McAfee, the show. They really are all for him. So I think this weekend we should see a really good match. I've been watching the show, Pat McAfee, and he looks like he's lost weight. It looks like he's gotten a little bit bigger. So I'm wondering if maybe he did something different with his workout routine. But I think he wins this weekend. I think I think they're gonna start making a snowball effect and giving him a couple of wins. Who knows what his plan is for next WrestleMania? But I see Pat McAfee picking up the win this weekend against bum ass Corbin. So
Okay.
Gilbert, Baron Corbin, but he calls him bum ass Corbin.
Yeah, Baron Corbin isn't a superstar. Why would you make him win? Everybody wants to see Pat McAfee win. So yeah, Pat, do your thing.
Dan and Diego?
Pat was a great compa to the show.
Yeah.
There's no, I can't, I'm already starting to blush and get nervous to talk about it.
Becoming a fanboy.
The guy's amazing. The guy's amazing. Don't hate Gilberto.
Look, he's blushing. The guy's he's not even near you.
I know, but I just love him, dude. The cast and the crew are all amazing. But anyway, back to the point.
Mr. Pat.
That's right. No, I think I said Mr. McAfee, honestly. I don't even remember. He was playing
right,
that in his mind, probably. I was too excited. But anyway.
We know who's gonna win. He's gonna say it right now, Pat. So let's go.
All right.
I honestly wish, I'm not even gonna lie, they would take Pat out of the announcer's chair and put him in the ring, but I guess a time commitment and all that stuff's the problem.
Okay, let's go.
But I think his wrestling is like really good for a guy who's never made it a professional career.
All right, next match. Logan Paul versus The Miz. This is going to be the first time that we see Logan Paul. Logan Paul signed a contract with WWE. They're really hyping him up. I actually was very impressed when he fought the Mysterios at WrestleMania. Now I'm waiting to see what he's going to do one-on-one. Maybe his brother takes over boxing and he takes over WWE. But I'll say Logan Paul picks up the victory. The Miz is a guy that doesn't need victories. He's self-made. He's the guy. He's the Miz. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him or hates him. So I'll say Logan Paul picks up the victory. And I'm going to say Logan Paul impresses the WWE community this weekend, and he picks up the W. Dan, quickly, who do you think wins this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Logan, too. I mean, you just signed him. It's his first match. There's no reason why you'd make him lose. I just hate that The Miz is going to lose. I hate that, like, Miz and Rollins, I feel like have been on such a lose streak that I'm like, I hope these guys don't go stale to the fans or whatever. But, you know, because I'm not even going to lie, like you said, I was impressed at WrestleMania with his wrestling. I saw the guy come in with The Miz, you know, and I was like, why the hell's this tic-tacker here? Like, what's this bum going to do in the ring? And I'm not even going to lie, like, it was impressive. I was like, oh, all right. Like, hey, credit where credit's due. Dan and Dago is a man. He'll admit when he's wrong, and boy, was I wrong.
Gilbert?
I'm tired of the Paul brothers. Yeah, he has to impress me. I got to watch it. No, let's go Miz.
All right. So this weekend, it's a pretty well. Let me just real quick. I have to show you this video, Gilbert, because you're gonna get a kick out of it. Obviously, we know that Vince McMahon is now gone from WWE. Well, there was this video last night of finally somebody making a statement about it, and it was your tribal chief. So let's take a listen to what Roman had to say last night. Let's see it.
Around. I want you to analyze this situation here. You understand? Your daddy's not here anymore. This is my ring. And you heard him. Daddy's gone. I'll tell you who his daddy is, because if he keeps messing up, the tribal chief is going to be his daddy.
Let's go.
So basically, that was Roman. That was the first time that anybody mentioned that Vince McMahon was gone. Obviously, Theory is the handpicked future champion of WWE. He was a guy that Vince McMahon was training himself, working out himself. And last night, he told him, he's like, if you try and cash in that money in the bank on me, I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna be your daddy. So it's interesting what's happening right now. But Gilbert, after you guys give your predictions, I'm going to tell you one bit of fact, a little bit of noise that I've been hearing about your tribal chief. But I say the tribal chief versus Brock Lesnar for the last time ever. They will never wrestle again for another championship. This has happened way too many times. Fans are over it. I say Roman Reigns wins. Theory tries to cash in, but the bloodline stops him, and Roman keeps the championships. But I believe that Roman Reigns will win this weekend. Gilbert, what say you?
No, this is Triple H's first big show. Give me a surprise, Austin Theory, and obviously maybe Vince McMahon still pulling the strings. I really don't know.
No, there's no with what's going on. There's no way.
I don't know.
Austin soccer, Brown.
What do you think?
It's like in soccer when the manager gets booted and he's sending texts down to the field about what subs to make.
Basically. You know it's crypto, right? Okay.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
All right, are we done here? Okay, you just make your pick.
Are you ready? Have you acknowledged him, Gilberto? Because if you haven't acknowledged your tribal chief today, he will become your daddy too. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you all, I am, like I said previously, I am a man. I admit when I'm wrong. I used to hate Roman Reigns, thought he was a scrub. I hated that they pushed him so much. But that video and seeing him as a tribal chief, I'm a believer. That's my tribal chief. I'm with the wise man. I am all in. It hurts me because I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan, but I think Brock Lesnar wants to collect his check and go back to his farm.
I would love to see
the tribal chief remains victorious.
I would love to see Justin Herbert get a wise man, and it'd be Dan and Dago. I think Daniel would be the perfect mouthpiece for Justin Herbert, and it'd be the greatest thing ever in NFL history. But Gilbert, there has been rumors circulating that Roman's is slowing down. His contracts are slowing down. His new contract is slowing him down. There are rumors that he will be fighting The Rock at WrestleMania next year. And for that to happen, they're thinking about taking both belts off of him because they think if they have both belts, everybody's going to think, oh, The Rock's not going to win it. He has way too many things going on. So there are rumors that they're going to take both belts off of your tribal chief coming up in the next few months. See? The way I would do it, just saying, I think in a couple of weeks after they're going to go to Scotland and do a big pay-per-view out in Scotland. I think their next pay-per-view, they should have a ladder match with numerous contestants. I think the way they can get out of this, because right now it's supposedly a one belt. It's an undisputed belt. I think what they need to do is have a ladder match with both belts on it. Riddle and Seth Rollins run up the ladder. They're fighting each other. One grabs one, the other one grabs the other, and they both fall down. And each keeps one of the championships. You separate it. You separate Raw. You send one to Raw. You send one to SmackDown. You keep the belts separated that way. That's the only way I could see them get out of this mess. The only other way I could see it is if Austin Theory cashes in on Saturday, he wins the championships, and Paul Heyman comes out and says, whoa. That contract only guarantees him one championship. So Roman gets to keep the other championship while Theory won one. So that's the only way I can see that happening. The only smart way that they could separate both belts. But you're
like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and trying to figure things out. Or was it horrible?
I like figuring things out, but we want to. Paul Heyman is the master negotiator, man.
We want to thank Dan and Dago for jumping on with us right now to talk to talk about SummerSlam. Now we're gonna give Gilbert the floor, and Gilbert, this weekend it's gonna be some good UFC this weekend. Our compa, because she was there with us at Radio Row, Juliana Pena. We talked about it with her. She's fighting Amanda Nunes in that rematch this weekend, Gilbert. And Brandon Moreno from Tijuana, he's fighting Kay Cara France. Gilbert, give me first the Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. What's going to happen in this fight?
Yeah, first off, shout out to the friend of the show, Juliana Pena, who's also friends with Beto Duran. So, this is a good background there, good history. So
exactly,
we all love Juliana. She's the best. But
she was so nice to us. Yeah,
she was nice to us. So she's a friend of the show. We try not to be biased, but we're going for her,
Oh yeah, 100%.
So yes, the rematch is a lot of pressure on Amanda Nunes because she was on top of her game, and then this was a surprise. Juliana beat her. Great fight for her and put her on the map. But I don't know if I'm a kind of Amanda, but I think Juliana will pull it out. Sometimes when these fighters at the top, they struggle to kind of find it again, find that different gear. And that kind of happened with our boy, the Mexican Brandon Moreno. Like he got that big victory against the Brazilian, and then he couldn't get in the rematch. So a very intriguing card, and I will definitely check it out this weekend.
And then obviously we want Julia Pena and Brandon Moreno to win. Another big fight is Danny Garcia, Gilbert. He's fighting this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that fight?
Yeah, real quick. But I guess the biggest story you told me before the show, I just wanted to mention him real quick because I'm a boxing guy, and I think Danny Garcia is a notable fighter. And his brother, Jose Benavidez, he's not like a real champion or he's a contender kind of guy. He will make it tough, and I like watching Danny Garcia. But I guess the big story is that he has an extra toe, right?
Yeah, he told TMZ, he says his 11 toes give him a leg up. I wish he would have said a toe up against Jose Benavidez Jr. 11 toes. I don't know where he's going to, I don't know what, maybe he doesn't get tired and that other toe takes over and kind of helps him. But yeah, Gilbert, what do you think about this?
I guess maybe it helps him against Jose Benavidez kind of type, but Danny hasn't really won the bigger fights. So I don't know. It could be a kind of a bad thing. I don't know.
Do you think Danny wins this weekend?
Yeah, he'll definitely win this fight for sure. And it's a good weekend for combat sports. We got SummerSlam, UFC, and boxing. So I love it.
And it's all on Saturday, so it's all going to be it's going to be a real big thing. But now it's time for Una Mas, Gilbert, our favorite time. Gilbert, I thought I'd surprise you a little bit with Una Mas today, just because I want to do one quick video and then one really funny thing. But Gilbert, have you ever seen this video of Seth Rollins back when he was in ROH, Ring of Honor? It's actually pretty funny. Look at this.
We didn't take Scoville's blood pressure, though.
Hey, what are you doing?
Moonsaulted. Did he catapult himself? Yes, he did. He catapulted himself off the post, moonsault.
Was that a fan? He just kind of just.
That was
Can you describe it for the audio listeners?
Yeah, so basically, Seth Rollins, when he was in ROH, which is Ring of Honor, there was a big fan standing there, a big guy with a big belly, kind of like como su servidor, standing there just with a big belly. Seth Rollins runs up, jumps off of his stomach, catapults himself, and does a backflip onto the opponent. It was a hilarious move. I recommend you guys going to YouTube and checking it out on our regular Compas, but it got a smile out of Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert. I was gonna say, like, that's too much wrestling for the show, and then I saw that. Okay, that was worth it.
Yeah. So Gilbert, I put it's Miller time. Why is it Miller time? Because our good friend Jeff Miller today he has dropped some really good articles. Shout out to Jeff Miller. He went to Florida to go talk to Khalil Mack's parents, JC Jackson's parents. Head over to the LA Times. Check both of those articles out. They're very good work. That's just what Jeff Miller brings to the game. But today, our good friend of the show, Ty Knoll, who takes all the photos for the Chargers, he had this really good photo of Jeff Miller walking in.
That's awesome.
to the first day of training camp, and he goes, "Who did it better, Jeff Miller or QB1?"
Wait, who's the guy on your Twitter? It looks like Jeff.
It is Jeff.
No, on the right. Look at the right side of your
this
Twitter.
Guy?
Yeah, who's that?
It's Robert Lewandowski. He plays for Barcelona.
He looks like Jeff. That's funny.
That's what they're saying, that he looks a lot like Jeff.
It does. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. So then obviously it's quarterback one, so the Chargers media was waiting for him in the back, and so was Chargers media like Daniel Popper and all these guys. They were waiting for him to show up in the back. He actually showed up through the front and came in through the front. Ty Knoll got him, but what got me laughing was Jeff Miller just walking. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Good friend of the show. We'll have him on before the season starts to kind of break down some Charger stuff. But that is honestly, like, I want to make that my phone screensaver or my laptop screensaver just because it's an amazing picture. It's just it's literally who Jeff Miller is.
No, I love it, and I love the smirk on Justin Herbert, and I love the lookalike of Jeff Miller. That's pretty awesome.
It's good stuff, But Gilbert, you got anything you're working on? Anything you want to promote? I mean, we promoted Jeff's story. Anything you got?
Obviously, man, just on the daily, just check out my notebooks from Rams training camp, and I'm still trying to kind of learn, but I feel like there's some good stories. I'm getting some good interviews, good information out there at the Orange County Register, LA Daily News, all the websites from SNG, or just follow me on Twitter. It's funny seeing like Charger fans leave me, but then the Ram fans are coming, and it's a weird place with my Twitter right now. But also our stuff. You gotta follow us on Twitter at Compas OTB, Instagram at Compas on the B, on TikTok too. We're on obviously YouTube, the channel. If you're watching this, you're on YouTube probably. But subscribe, please. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. We have all the social media content. We're trying to grow this podcast, and any support will be awesome. And our big goal is 1,000 subscribers. We're hoping before the football season we get a crazy wave here. People are excited for football. I still believe in it. I know it's a tough number, but we got to get to 1K. It will really help us out in many ways.
And Dan and Dago said we're gonna give a special prize out to whoever is the 1,000th, and who knows? Maybe we do one for the 800th. Maybe we do one for every 100 that we get. Maybe we start doing giveaways and we do special prizes. But I got some stuff coming up with the ND Insider. We have our preview for the Notre Dame season, so I got some stuff coming out. It'd be cool if you guys checked it out. I think it's going to be all rolling out digitally within the next few weeks. So it'll be fun rolling out some of the stories that I did in the last few weeks. And then also, guys, we have some big stuff coming up in the next few weeks. We'll be trying to preview some divisions. We got a lot. When I tell you guys, I mean, we have a lot of really cool stuff planned, a lot of fun guests planned, guests that we consider compas. So we're definitely excited about what's coming up and what we got going on. Because honestly, guys, like this, what Gilbert and I are working on right now, I mean, we can't talk a lot about it, but we're definitely up to something. All of us at Compas on the Beat are up to something, and we're definitely trying to cook some stuff up to bring you guys the best guests and the best content. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And like we said, this season will be full go. It's going to be, we're going to be doing both Chargers. We're going to be doing Rams. We're going to be doing NFL. We're going to be doing everything. So definitely be on the lookout for all the stuff we got. We're excited about it. We're excited about everything that we're doing here at Compas on the Beat. And like we said, we've added some people, so we're definitely excited about the direction that Compas is heading in.
Yeah, definitely big plans. We can't say them just yet. And I know for the people who are like, we're going to talk Chargers, we're going to talk Rams and talk more football or talk more wrestling, whatever. We're trying to figure out a plan where we kind of hit all the topics because also, as you know, we like entertainment and talking about movies and TV shows. So I know it's a lot, but I think we're going to have a good plan coming up in the next week or two for you guys to see, how we kind of spread it all out.
And honestly, guys, hit us up. Let us know. Hey, that's what the comment sections are for. That's what the ratings are for on iTunes, on YouTube. We see all your comments. We see all that stuff. Let us know. Hey, I'd love if you guys did more of Ask the Compas. I'd love if you guys did this, if you guys did that. We want to reach out to you guys, and we want you guys to tell us what you guys want. But we're definitely excited, like we said, about the stuff coming up for us. We got some really good stuff lined up, but for the time being, thank you guys again so much for rocking with us. Let's get to those 1,000 subscribers. We'll be giving out some free stuff, some free swag. Who knows? Maybe you'll go have a Modelo with Gilbert and Dan and Dago. Maybe you go, you have Korean barbecue with the Compas. Who knows? I mean, you never know what could happen here at Compas on the Beat or what you could win. So definitely, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. But you know what? ¿Sabes qué, Gilbert? It's time. Vámonos.
Ya nos vamos, pues. Vámonos.